All right, we ready? What episode is this? 70?
67, I think.
67? Is that?
Feels like we've been in the 60s forever, doesn't it?
I feel like, well,
Hold on,
we've
let
been a
me
little
go
bit,
back.
A little bit slow.
on, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's 67
Is it
according
67?
to my podcast app.
All right.
I want my 60s to go slow.
All right. Episode 67. We're going to do a better job of
Because
getting...
we've been a little lackadaisical.
Yeah, we've been a little busy.
Do you know how to spell lackadaisical?
No, don't really care.
Why not?
Lackadaisical.
LAX.
Lax.
D-A.
I don't know.
Days.
D-A. You think there's an I before the S or days?
Ooh, that's a funky looking one.
Or is it a Z?
I don't know. What is it, Cam?
Oh, did I get it right?
Oh, it's a
Lackadaisical.
C-K.
Lackadaisical.
Whoa, that's a hard one. That's
wait.
a good
Wow.
spelling bee
Wow.
question.
Oh, wait, hold on. It says...
Lackadaisical.
Oh, it's misspelled and mispronounced for lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical. There we go. Lackadaisical.
Wait,
I was
so
astonished to
shoot,
learn
so
that
it's
the
not
word
what did I say?
lackadaisical-
Lackadaisical.
You need to use
Oh,
that
you
one.
can spell it with an X too, I think.
I said
lackadaisical.
lackadaisical.
Oh, it's both misspelled and mispronounced, both of these, I guess.
Oh, okay, so it is
Still commonly used
lackadaisical.
Southern
Because you're
Commonly used
lacking.
in
Yeah, that would make
Southern
more
Africa.
sense from a definition standpoint.
lackadaisical.
So it's lackadaisical.
But
not
it's rare to hear the
lackadaisical.
correct lackadaisical in mainstream use.
See, look how fascinated
So
you
it's
are at spelling
it is
now.
Lackadaisical.
So there was an I before the
Because
S.
you're lacking.
Daisical.
I like
We
it.
did it.
All right, well,
There you go. Grammar lesson.
Yeah. This
we're
is
gonna-
becoming a
episode
thing.
67
I know.
sponsored by the word
Lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical.
So I actually
But
said it
also
completely
RP
wrong.
strength and
yes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Who are not lackadaisical.
lackadaisical.
Who are not lackadaisical
Crud.
at all.
Lackadaisical. There's no Z in the middle.
No.
Okay.
Not technically, but it says most people don't say the correct thing, so.
Are you guys excited to play this game?
No, absolutely not.
What game are we playing?
Casual questions to get to know someone.
Do we have to talk about that right off the bat?
Yes. Without
Let's
question.
see if there's any questions.
No, but actually, let's start with this one. List of questions to ask a guy.
Oh.
There's ones for girls too, but I figure I torture you guys first. Let's see.
Some questions to ask a guy.
Silver.
That's so broad.
What?
I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Rich. What was your best drop the mic moment? You both definitely have one.
Best
Drop the mic moment. Like where you just like, you have plenty from performing. I mean, I can list them.
I don't know. That's a weird question to ask.
That is
somebody.
kind of weird because you're just kind of asking them to like brag about
Yeah,
themselves.
exactly.
Okay.
That's not.
Well, think about something outside of sports. Can you think of anything outside of sports where
You
you
got
were like,
nothing else.
I got nothing else.
Good at nothing else. I've told you guys that before.
That's not true. Dude, don't you
Pretty
quilt
accurate.
in your free time? Or
Absolutely not.
Quilts.
something? No quilting.
Is there a moment like
Play no
How do
musical
we-
instruments. Nothing.
You hunt?
quilt?
It's physical, but it's
I've
different.
hunted once this year because I have 3 kids.
You know what made me think? So one time I was trying to talk to this kid, back when I was working at Northern Colorado on the football team, and I wanted to say something that was cool. You know, I didn't want to be like an old
Oh, here we go.
goofball dude. You
You
know,
be hip.
yeah. And I had heard somebody talking about dubstep as a kind of music. I don't even know what the hell dubstep is. I sort of kind of know.
What do you think it is? Like, what do you sort of think it is?
Like, I don't know.
It's hard. That's hard to explain.
I guess
though,
I don't
like-
even really know how to explain
I
it
feel like
either.
it's like
Do I really know what it is?
Kind of like techno.
I feel like
type.
it's like Stomp, you know, where they have like...
Yeah. Well, it was like, it's kind of like, sort of like, I think, like, we should look this up.
Okay, sorry,
But
I
like
didn't
What is the
rap, but-
definition of dubstep?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I hear somebody talking about it, right? And these kids are arguing about it, whatever, and saying how much they like it or whatever. And then I come back around in the locker room a little bit later, and they're all, you know, they're dancing at their lockers, and there's some music on, and I walk by, and I'm like, oh, dubstep, nice. And then they looked at me like,
You're
like, Coach,
Oh,
how'd you know that? You're like, you're the man. I'm like, come on, dudes. And then
Just
walked
played
out
it
like,
off.
I just totally played that. Like,
No idea what
I
it
know
was.
what's going on.
yeah.
I know
Totally pulled that
dubstep.
out of my
All right,
butt.
so dubstep is a genre of electronic dance music that originated in South London in the late 1990s. It's generally characterized by sparse, syncopated rhythmic patterns with prominent
Like stomp.
and often wobbly sub-bass frequencies and epic breakdowns.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The definition says epic breakdown.
Exactly.
So to
You have
answer your question,
That was it.
That was one of those kind of moments outside of sports or something like that, where you were like,
That does sound, yeah.
I just did that.
You're like, I just took a risk and nailed it.
Yep.
So that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
This question's ridiculous. You don't have one right now.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. If you could learn only one magic spell, but it could only do something mundane and boring, what would the spell do? Like, unclog a drain, extra brown toast. Like, your toast it just never
magic
comes out fully. And
spell?
you put your hand on it, you're like, "Ugh." Your toast is a little more brown.
So it has to be mundane.
Unjam
Yeah.
a copier. Yeah, that kind of thing.
First thing that came to mind, I might say that.
A mundane task. Take out the dishes.
Take out the
laundry.
dishes, do the trash. Is that what you're...
You know what? I got one.
do the dishes or unload the dishwasher.
That'd be good.
Take out the dishes.
Fold all my laundry with just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How great would that be?
That would be
That would
awesome.
be
Because dishes
aw-
are like, but it's not that bad.
You can, depending on where your setup for your sink is. Like, is the TV in front of your sink? Or is it like, are you in a corner? Like, can you talk to
Yeah.
everybody while you're doing the dishes? Or are you like our old house, you were stuck
Yeah.
in the
We're
corner?
just like
And you're just
time
like
out.
this.
Yeah, like
Your
time
house
out in
is
the
cool
corner.
for that because you can
you got
see.
a
It
TV,
is.
yeah.
I have to bring my iPad around, so
You
because I
guys thought
can't.
that through, huh?
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Smart.
I hate it. That was
That'd
my
be
chore growing up.
Yeah, I would have I would never have to buy paper towels or toilet paper again.
That's a
Ooh,
good one,
that
too.
is
They would just be
Oh,
stocked,
yeah.
and you would just have it, and
That's
it'd
a really good one.
just always
I
be
like
there.
that. Cam, what's yours?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Or always having milk would be a good one for us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now that I drink milk and all three of our kids drink milk, it's gone. Like you
never have
might
milk.
every time you go to the store, you might as
get
well
some.
grab a
You
gallon.
just need a dang cow. What's
I don't
yours?
No, then you have to milk it.
Maybe just having a constant stack of books that would be really interesting and good,
Oh,
but just
wow.
like keeps
Ooh.
like you pick
That's
one
a
up
good
and then like
one.
another one
And
pops
it's
up at
just
the
What a
bottom.
really
nerd.
good.
What a nerd.
Something interesting.
Then I would have to spend time looking for them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I do know
What's
that
yours,
would
Elly?
totally satisfy you, though.
Oh,
that
man,
would totally
I
make
hate
you so
having to look
happy.
for books to read.
Not the dreaded book.
I'm trying to think of some like a chore I don't like to do. Folding laundry for sure.
Automatically doing diapers.
Oh,
I'm so over wiping asses.
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah, and you
What's
still got
yours,
a couple
Elly?
more years left.
Yeah.
Probably gas in my car. No,
Oh, that's
drive
a good one because you drive so much.
always in the car, and like stopping for gas just torments me. Like, I'm like, I know it's not good for your vehicle. Don't push the limits. So should you get gas now? Absolutely not. I'm not
You
stopping.
should just
I
have like a
refuse.
gas station in your
First world
garage.
problem.
It is a first world problem, and I was telling them the other day I almost didn't make it here because I got distracted. Imagine that.
That's scary.
Like, and there's like a last exit before you go
Squirrel.
like 40 miles, and I'm like literally 30 seconds before I hit that and in no man's land, and someone's picking me up on the side of the
You
road.
act like you're at no man's land. There's not no man's
because
land.
we
here.
live on Mars here, and there's just no civilization anywhere.
That is scary though when you like space out. Like I've done that a few
Yeah.
times. You like get in your car and you forget. I don't know, for some reason the bright yellow blinking light
Yeah.
doesn't like.
Yeah.
And you get on the highway and you're like, oh my gosh, I have like
Yeah.
10 miles left. Here we go.
Oh, I found that place.
So I this is gonna, I never let the tank go below half. That's like my
It's good
weird
for your
little
That's
car.
a good, yeah.
OCD, kind of like it freaks me out. if it
Let's
gets
steal
below
his
half.
keys and drive it to less
Right?
than half. Ooh,
Oh,
good price.
that would really
Siphon-
bother me.
Or siphon the gas from his tank and put it in yours.
Yes! You're a genius. But if that was my magic power, I could do your gas
yeah.
gone, my gas full.
That's hilarious. Here's something that I hate that's sort of kind of the same.
Hate, this is a strong word.
Hate.
Like,
hate.
I double hate. I want to
Loathe.
entirely. I want to go into a grocery store and just buy something and not be asked for my freaking rewards card.
Well, if you shopped at Publix, you wouldn't have to deal with that.
What? They have that option there?
There's no rewards card
Because they suck.
because they're the best.
Because they're more expensive?
Now, you go to Kroger, all you have to do is put in your phone number.
I
You don't
know,
need
and
a rewards card.
I know, I do
Yeah, but
that.
who
But I
wants
gotta
to
dial
do
in my
that?
number, and they always ask me. And then you go to CVS,
Oh, yeah.
and that whole thing's based on like those people get in line for coupons.
See, it's better than having
Yeah, I
coupons, though. And you get money off. It's pretty cool when it's like, you scan it, it's like, whatever, but you saved however many cents. You're like,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, Publix is the best. You just don't have to do that.
We didn't have
Because their prices are so high.
They're not. You know what warms my heart? People send me pictures tagged at Publix all the time. It makes me so happy.
warms your heart.
It does.
Jeez.
That was a doggone good Publix sub, and I was like, darn right it was. Thanks for the message. I love it.
So
great.
now people know how to get you to respond.
Yeah,
Just
send me a
send
picture
something.
of Publix sub, and I'm like, I get you.
We went to Chipotle the other day, which is our new favorite place in town. And God, I love that place.
Right.
And they got the little hand sanitizer right before you order. And
What?
yeah, it's like the
Really?
little machine. It's just perfect.
Why do you need to sanitize your
I don't
hands
know.
before you order
It just
food?
feels good. It
Because you're about
feels-
to eat a burrito or
Phil.
tacos with
or,
your hands.
or a bowl.
yeah.
But you
Or a
don't
bowl,
need it.
usually
Or
a
salad.
bowl, yeah.
You eat the salad with your hands?
I don't eat salad.
Well, it's just part of the process.
kidding.
You come up, you stand in line, you get the hand sanitizer, you look over in there, you decide what you want.
But can we talk about how it's funny that it's called a salad when there's literally just the same lettuce underneath if you order a salad? I don't know if
As
you
on
ever
top.
have.
Yeah.
But at the
That's
end of
true.
the line, there's the same lettuce. So,
That's
like,
true.
it could just be a bowl and then
Yeah.
you put lettuce on top.
That's
or
why I go with a bowl.
Yeah.
It's so
I agree
true.
with
But
And then
the
you start
dressing
and then
is
there's
good.
then there's less room
vinaigrette,
for
yeah.
the salad. But you just get a bowl
It's
and
a
you
less
ask for the
ratio.
vinaigrette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
That's
what I do.
all
And they
you
only
need to
put
do.
3 sprinkles of
'Cause that's
lettuce
all
instead of a whole bed of lettuce.
Only 4 slices.
And that's all that's left in the container.
Oh.
But Publix is in the same shopping center here in Cookeville. And my wife was like, maybe we should go to Publix. But it's out of the way. But so we're sort of kind of considering maybe
should.
going over there.
Yeah, tag me
But
in a
food-
picture when you go.
Food Lion's right there. Will you respond?
Which food line?
Touche. There's more than one?
The
Yeah.
one you guys go to.
Yeah, that one's not that great.
It's not the best, but it's
No.
there.
The best is
There's a
Kroger.
good
Kroger's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. The parking lot's not great.
That's the problem.
yeah.
Getting in and out of
Yeah,
there.
that parking lot, I feel like I'm going to hit someone every single time.
Yeah. I always
Like,
just
I get
park out by
scared.
the street.
Yeah, and just walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wake up suddenly in the middle of the night. What would be the scariest sound to hear after waking up?
Huh.
Someone say hello that you don't know.
That would be a good one. I got one.
I got one too.
Chainsaw, just in your room. Whoa!
It's not the
that's-
noise a chainsaw makes.
Not at all.
Okay, make the sound then. Make
No,
it better.
no, but that's
See
not
that
the-
you can't make a sound better than whoa!
What would be the scariest sound?
There'd be a lot of scary sounds
There's a
when you
lot
wake
of
up in the
scary
middle of the
sounds.
night.
Ever heard a tornado before?
Dad, I
Yeah.
beat the bed. That's not a good one. That one happened the other night.
Oh no.
Yeah. Especially when they're laying next to you.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Those were the
Put
days.
newspaper down.
You're gonna be fine. Roll over.
Just don't lay
Go
there.
back to sleep.
My cat goes out in the garage at night. He's got a cat door,
You
a
had
little
me
kitty
until
door.
you said my cat.
My cat. He goes out in the garage at night, so I have to set him out in the garage. He does his own thing. There's this little kitty door that was already there before we moved in.
You didn't install the kitty door.
No.
Okay.
And
Is
he
it
knows.
a kitty, like a cat door, or is it like a kid door?
For small,
kitty
for
door.
I
small,
like it. I see what you did there.
Kitty door.
I see it. Yeah. So he can go in and out, but I don't want him to come back in at night in the house because he like terrorizes everybody. So I put like a little board over that door. Well, I was out the other night sleeping, like, and I hear a sound of wood, like whap. And I'm thinking, I'm really having trouble waking up. And then we also have a kid gate in the hallway to keep the other two dang
kitty
dogs.
gate,
A
not
kitty
kitty.
gate. A kitty
Kid.
door and a kitty
gate.
Kitty.
Got it.
Kitty.
kitty.
And then he tried to get in that
Knocked
and
it
knocked
over.
it over. So I heard a whap and then a slam,
that's
and I
all
came
no.
out of
You
bed
have
like
Thinking some
intruders.
big animal or
somebody's
some
coming
idiot.
down the
Person.
hallway, and it's that freaking cat rubbing on my leg, and that surprised me because it's dark.
Bang!
Yeah, oops. Shot
That's
the cat.
terrible. We have this huge obese cat at my house named Guts, and he's big and black. And when he comes off the counter, this is my parents' house, not
He's
my house.
really big.
He's huge. And when he hits the ground, he goes, because he's so big. And so, no joke, this cat is so needy every single night. He follows my dad around. He loves my dad. And my dad goes, Guts is a bowling ball. And at night, my dad will like come downstairs and shut the door, and he locks it to escape all the animals that follow him around. And he says, no joke, every night at midnight, Guts just starts going, and I just hear it's his body like a huge bowling ball tapping against the door till I open the freaking thing, and then it comes and sleeps on my head.
I can just imagine your dad walking around the house, like, literally, like, a bunch of animals after. I'm just like prancing,
There's
like
so
following
many.
around everywhere.
It's just ridiculous. Okay, what high-level job do you think you could lie your way into with no experience and no one would notice?
Ooh.
Ooh, this is a good
that's
question.
a fun one. Oh man! Well, let's name some occupations. Do they have any?
What was the dude?
I got nothing.
What was the dude
I
who
don't think I
became a
could do it.
pilot? The movie Catch Me If You Can,
Oh yeah.
where he was a pilot for a while. It's a true life story.
Oh, really?
True Life? Is that how you
True
say
Life?
it? Or True Life? True Life.
I don't know.
Yeah, he became a pilot and he just
True
like
story.
rode around in the like engineer's seat and swindled a bunch of money. And
Nice.
what job could I get?
I just feel like as long as you have a big imagination, you know, like if say you like woke up and you decided you wanted to be like to sell like super fast car engines, like someone would come in and you'd be like, "Let me tell you, this one shoots flames and goes 0 to
I
60
couldn't do that because I
in
wouldn't
1
know enough
second."
technical stuff to
Yeah,
be
but
able to.
I mean,
How's that a high-level job? You're a salesman.
what's a high level job?
I'm talking like a CEO of a company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Which you can.
Or a
I mean,
pilot or an astronaut or...
okay, no, those are technical jobs. I'm thinking things like,
That's a horrible question, actually.
I mean, think about like an attorney, like being in a courtroom, like, yeah, you have to, I'm not undermining the law profession at all. It's a very challenging profession, but if
Politician.
yeah, a lobbyist or like something like that where you like,
Okay, so that's one I think I could do. I really do. I could be an attorney.
yeah, you could be a lobbyist.
I
too,
could do
think,
that. I could
for
do the
sure.
lawyer thing. If I got used to what's going on in the courtroom and learned some of the rules, I could probably do that.
Okay.
And that probably offended all the attorneys, but
Yeah.
hey, screw you.
And they're all gone.
No,
They're all gone now.
they're gonna come shadow for a day. Yeah, it is way more complicated. Who or what is your nemesis?
My nemesis.
We all have things or people that we absolutely hate. Really? Jeez,
Nemesis. Oh,
question.
wow.
You're aggressive.
Nemesis. I
Is
don't.
that something you should really say on a podcast that everyone's listening to?
It's, for instance, like jars that don't open.
Jars of
Nemesis.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's
those
like
those
more.
Advocare drinks.
Oh, yeah.
The orange ones. Only
Orange
the orange
OTG.
flavor.
They
Yeah.
just don't open.
Like seriously, one
Yeah,
day
that's it.
after I was getting over rhabdo, I was trying to open one of those, and I'm really struggling with my health and not feeling well, and I can't get one open, and no one's ever mentioned it to me before, and I'm freaking out, thinking that's it. I can't
old,
open this.
I'm done.
That's it. And I look over, right, perfect timing, and Rich is over there just like.
Full on. It takes
is-
like 2 or 3. You have to like loosen it, and then go for it.
And then
if your hands are sweaty at all, they're done.
Oh yeah.
And then you looked up at me and you're like, yeah, they're really hard. Like and I was like, whew, okay. If Rich Froning's having trouble and I'm having trouble, I'm all right.
They're hard. For some reason, I don't know why. It's just the orange ones.
And it's only the orange ones.
I felt strong the other day when I opened one by myself. Usually I need someone else to help me.
Strong, independent woman don't need no man.
Tasia came up to me the other day and she's like, Jim, will you please open this for me? And I'm like, holy shit.
Usually I have
Oh.
Tasia open it for me.
Oops. I was like, I gotta man up. I gotta do this.
Gotta do this.
You gotta get pumped up.
Don't screw it up, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other like annoying things. Like when we started swimming today, just one side of my goggle kept filling up. That drives me
Oh, it's always
insane.
my right one.
And then it's like you have to
It's always
swim
my
with like
left one.
a Popeye
Really?
eye. Oh man, that drives me nuts. And it's just because the stupid cap is right in the corner, but your arm's flailing, so you can't get it back by your face without full, you know.
I also lost a pool buoy. Like at the first
that sucks.
little thing, and so I was like trying to do it, like fix it, like somehow. I'm
Oh,
like, they're
yeah.
gonna think I'm drowning, but I'm okay.
We're fine. I'm fine.
Because I was
I'm
like
fine.
not getting it and like kind of flailing. I'm like, okay, it's just gonna be what it is.
It is a whole lot easier to use those things now that we're not kicking off the wall, though. Because I
Oh, yeah,
always
'cause
lost
you
it when I
always-
kicked off the wall.
Yeah, it was awesome. I liked being back in the pond.
Yeah, for sure.
What about driving a standard transmission?
Oh, I love that.
I love it. Can you guys do that?
I don't know how to.
I keep asking. I want to learn, but no one will teach me.
Wonder why.
You don't think that I could do it quick? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it in movies.
Yeah. You've got one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love driving that thing.
Can I learn?
Oh,
I just got shafted. I
Well,
said no.
You
have
can
any
you can like
standards?
destroy a clutch.
Me and my grandpa do, but he keeps it most of the time. And I'm sure as hell not letting you drive that.
Is it the Corvette? Come on!
No way would I ever let you
Oh,
drive
that
that.
would be like a
Even if you
dream.
could drive a manual, no way.
Oh, come on.
No.
Please?
That was one of
Absolutely
those
not.
deals like for the reels that you don't.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to get in something like that.
Yeah, no, it's
just,
cool. Yeah, no, it would be.
You just can't let it happen.
Well, I have that, and then I have that old Chevy truck that I haven't. It's getting worked on still for the last 4 years.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that was.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Holy
Yeah, I need
mackerel.
to I reached back out to him a couple months ago, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get back on." He's got a lot of other stuff to do, and so I was like, because I told him, I said, "Hey, no rush on this," but I was like, "All right, it's been like 4 or 5 years now." Wow, a little more rush than that.
That's a patient man right there.
You might have the world record for longest time your car's in the shop.
Yeah.
I challenge anyone to be more than 5 years.
It's a 63 C10 pickup, so I can't really
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I can drive it, but the kids can't. I mean, it's a bench seat in the front, so it's not like I can take the kids
more
in
of
it
a
or
toy
anything. So
than-
so I'm not really. Maybe in a couple
5
years I'll be
years.
more.
Right.
But yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna go and pick that up and take it somewhere else if you're not gonna fix it. But frame's done, powertrain's in, so it should be pretty close.
I mean, maybe
That's
just give it
awesome.
7 years. If you're at 5.
I never even heard you talk about this before.
You never seen it?
No.
Yeah, it was so I learned how to drive on a 69 C10 pickup or C20 pickup actually. And then we got another. Dad got rid of that one. My dad, when I was younger, traded and sold and bought trucks all the time. And so I learned how to drive on that first one, the C20. He traded that for a C10, which is the smaller two-wheel drive. And I always just wanted another one like it. But those 69s, they have decent character. But if you go a year model or two before them, they look really cool. And so I end up, what year was that? 13 or 14, I bought a 63. It's a 61 technically, but has a 63 front clip on it. But now it has, we took the frame off, redid the frame. I say he took off the frame and redid it, and it'll have a 63 frame underneath it. But it's pretty sweet when it's done. But it was all black,
that's so
matte
cool.
and black.
Nice.
But it was it had 3 on the tree. However, the guy that I bought it from put it in the floor, and so you had to shift all the way up here, all the way back here, and all the way. Nobody else could drive it, and the clutch was starting to slip and was out, and I was literally the only person that could drive it because I kind of figured out where to find the gears.
I learned to drive on a 3 on the tree, a Ford Econoline van. I still remember that.
3 on a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more
makes
cool.
me
It's a lot
old.
cooler to be on the floor because we put a 5-speed on the floor in it, and it had I believe it's a 292 or 262 inline 6 engine in it, and we put a 350 from a 71 Chevelle in it, so it'll be pretty sweet when it's done.
Man, you got to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Give it
That's
a couple more
awesome.
years and you'll be good to go.
Better check, remember, give the guy a call.
Put it as his alarm in your phone. Well, since this was supposed to be the guy list of questions, but we opened it up, this one actually is only for you guys. What's the worst and best thing about being male?
The worst and best thing about being
Best
male.
thing is you get to pee outside on the regular.
Wow.
That's really true.
I'm not
I was
saying
gonna-
girls can't pee outside,
Right.
But
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Very
easy.
easy.
That is true.
The worst.
The worst thing about being a dude.
I don't really.
I wonder if this has any.
I don't know. I like being a dude.
Yeah, I don't know what's bad about it.
I got nothing.
I was going to say something, but I'm not. Sorry. Anyway, moving on.
That was a cackle.
What childish thing do you still enjoy? Everyone. I feel like some of those,
What childish thing?
Probably too many to list for me.
Yeah.
I really, really honestly enjoy playing with kids. That's still a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I really like that. A chance I get around to be around kids.
Things
Just
too.
Yeah, I don't at all. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I do.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably have too many things to list. We still do pranks. We still.
Like building sand castles, coloring, Play-Doh.
I don't like sand. I hate sand actually, with a passion.
sand.
Yeah, I don't know why I hate
Why?
sand. Gets everywhere. It's nasty.
Like
It
beach
hurts.
sand?
Yeah, hate sand.
What?
Yep, hate it.
It's naturally exfoliating.
I hate sand.
Actually,
I always do.
True.
If I run or if I'm on the sand a bunch, it cuts the bottom of my toes,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I hate sand.
the bottom of what do you have? Your
in
toes?
between, how your toes, you have that gap underneath your toes where you're. Yeah,
that webbing you have in between your toes, Ellie? The webbing.
Your toes have an aversion to sand.
I hate sand.
I love sand.
Speaking of dirt, I saw that garden plot was tilled up the other day.
Dad did it, and I had nothing to do with it, and I refused to have anything to do with it.
That
Okay,
you don't
that's
have to
pretty
have
definitive.
anything to do with it. I will have fully executed.
It'll be full of weeds in 2 weeks.
That really surprised me, though. I walked up and there was like this garden plot, and I thought that was...
Okay, well, we should really just make a real bet then, like one that's like painful.
No, we're
if
not
I
going
lose.
back to that. I just I shouldn't have
No,
brought it up.
because I'm going to stay in my lane this time. I'm not.
out.
It was too big.
You already lost and you didn't even pay up. Next question. I'm sorry. I just saw it out there and I thought...
Nothing will happen with that. I guarantee.
So he just tilled it up to...
Dad, one of his friends that lets us borrow a trailer, covered trailer all the time, needed his garden tilled. So Dad asked if he could use my tractor and take the tiller down there and till his garden for him. And I said, of course. He lets us use this trailer all the time. Well, when he came back up, I guess he said, do you want me to till a patch of the grass? I said, nothing will happen with it, so don't even worry about it.
Oh.
And I saw while we were in China on my Instagram that Dad was tilling up the garden. So I was like, I have no idea.
You're out of the country.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
No, it'll be full of weeds in a week.
Of course
Tell
it
me
will.
no. Keep telling me no. I can't wait to just make this thing a spectacle.
Right. That's all BS.
It'll be a
Everybody out there.
spectacle.
It's fine. Tell me I can't. Go ahead. Tell me again.
Next
you want to tell
question.
me one more time that I can't? And then am I going to?
And you're not going to? We know.
I am.
You just said, and I'm not going to.
No, that I'm not going to.
Isn't that what I just said?
No,
Yes.
I'm going to.
Yes.
What movie can you watch over and over and never get tired of? Wow, this one was like made for you.
Too many. I've seen Avengers 2.5 times. I didn't see it the third time because Lakeland wanted to leave.
Oh, gotcha.
Movie that you can watch. Do you have a movie that you can watch over and over again?
No, as a kid, I just watched like The Sandlot and The Mighty Ducks like
Ooh,
over and
that's
over
a
again.
good one.
Those
But
are good.
I can't quote movies. I can probably only quote from like The Sandlot and
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do that because I
That's
can't
about it.
quote from movies like that.
no,
either.
I cannot. I
Rich
don't
is
even,
the one that can quote like
Yeah.
lines and lines and lines of movies.
And then when someone says something funny and you just laugh at it and they're like, "Yeah, you remember that scene in that movie?" I'm like, "Oh, I just thought that was original material." Whoops.
you're like, oh, it kind of sounded like The Sandlot.
Or
but I
if
thought
you
that
don't
was
really know the
OG.
person, they're like, "Oh, totally, yeah, that one
Right.
movie."
Yes, for sure.
What about
What about
you?
you, Jim?
I'm thinking about it. Like I can do like all my favorites. I can do like Gladiator
Yeah,
and I can do like
Gladiator.
Braveheart, and when those are on, I'll dial into those and watch a little bit of them. Tombstone, I can do some of those.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah. But I don't have anything like a go-to like over and over again. Like every Christmas we have those traditional Christmas
Yeah.
ones that we do.
That's probably like the biggest one. Because
like
normally I
Christmas
don't pay
is the
attention to a
most.
full movie anyway. I can't do it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What movie you can watch over and over and over again?
Tommy Boy, Dumb and Dumber,
Ooh, that's a good one.
The Dark Knight Rises,
Oh.
That's a good one.
Oh, that is a good
Knight.
one.
I haven't tapped into that one in a while.
any of the most of the Marvel movies, not all of them, some of them. Transformers.
Transformers is a good one. The end music is good. It's motivating.
What
You're
else?
I watched the other day. What's the one with? Is it Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf. He's in the first 3, I think. 2, 3.
Okay, but it's not Transformers. It's one where.
Eagle Eye.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I watched the middle to end of that. Nah, I forgot
That's
that's
like
good.
thought-provoking.
Good
You're like,
movie.
oh dear.
Yeah.
They really can't hear everything.
Yeah, for sure they can.
That was really
They're
great.
listening
Think
right
of
now.
what else I could watch over and over.
Christmas movies, I feel like. What about
Christmas
Disney
Vacation.
movies? There's a lot of
Most Disney
Disney
movies,
I could watch
Pixar movies, yeah.
definitely a bazillion times.
I'm trying to think. I'm easily entertained. There's not much going on up here.
What long shot have you taken that really paid off?
What long shot you taken that really paid off? Jeez, my whole entire life's a long shot. I'm not sure it's paying off, but
Getting there.
we're trying.
Yeah. Moving to Cookville?
Yeah, that was way outside my comfort zone for sure. I knew not one human being other than my wife. It's been a great experience for me. Yeah,
CrossFit.
it's a good one. Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, for sure. You just spring break, right?
Yep.
Spring break.
Spring break.
What summer?
Still on spring break.
Or what year was it spring break what? So we can refer to this.
2010.
Froning spring break 10.
Yeah. Oh, was it 10? Yeah. This first year of the games. Yeah. 2010.
Wow. Cam?
I don't know.
Got
Fair
nothing.
enough. If you designed and built a treehouse, what would it look like and what would be in it?
You can't really
Oh wow.
design it in my head. I need some paper.
And I think treehouses
We
kind of
should.
go
We
as
should
you.
all have a
Yeah.
drawing
Yeah,
thing.
you have
show
to
the
have a
camera.
tree.
Yeah.
Like you need the tree.
Okay, so your homework, all of us have homework. We got to design our treehouse and we'll display it at the next episode.
would have a sign that says "No girls allowed."
He-Man Woman Hater Club.
Boards don't have carpets. Name that movie.
Slats. Little Rascals.
What did you just say?
Little Rascals, no.
Little Giants.
Dennis the Menace.
Duh. I
Dennis
knew
the
it was
Menace.
one like that. Did you guys have a treehouse growing up?
Yes.
No.
Couple.
Yeah, I had
Sadly.
multiple tree houses.
Yeah.
Those were good days. Lugging wood out there.
Where was you built
Nailing-
them yourself?
Nailing stuff up. Oh, yeah.
Really?
I know you
We
had
didn't
a
have
teepee.
big trees in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like newer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where was your treehouse?
Out back? We used to.
Did you build it yourself?
Oh yeah. Not safe at all.
No.
Then
Nail
we
up
would
the
just find
stepping.
like formations in the rock too and do that.
That's kind
Heck yeah. I've slept multiple nights in the treehouse.
Really?
Oh, yeah. When you're
that
a
would have
kid.
been cool.
Yeah.
Did you have one,
It
Elly?
would hurt now.
I did. Right outside
No interest.
where dog pen is. And the crazy thing is, like, in retrospect, like, in my mind, it was huge because it was on the big, round things, like 4 of those.
Trees?
No.
Big
no.
round things, trees.
It wasn't built in a tree.
Oh.
Oh, so in the treehouse.
But it was. It was
so
a
it was-
treehouse.
It was more like a fort.
No, it was big though, and you like had to take a ladder that was high enough up that like when you're going from the ladder to the square to get in, I remember a couple times thinking if I don't make it, I die. But again, I was a kid, so
But really,
now
like free solo karate kick, I'm gonna die, or like
Right? The kick or the.
And I feel like if it's going to be a tree house, it has to have a tree.
yeah.
no, it's
You
made
just had
of
a
wood.
fort. You just had a fort.
No, it's made of wood.
Nope. That's a fort.
Yes.
We're at the
Let's
beach.
see.
How many
There's
big
no
trees
question.
are there?
Well, if it's
Like,
not in a tree, it's not a treehouse. It's a
That's not-
fort.
Yes, that's
That's
No.
the stipulation.
like fundamental.
are you
Okay, the treehouse definition is a structure built in the branches of a tree for children to play in.
okay,
for children?
exactly.
Look up a fort.
They haven't seen the Treehouse Boys or whatever that
Okay.
TV show is where they build the tree houses.
But it's in trees.
It's got a.
Yeah.
If it's
Use
not
your
in a
imagination.
no, if it's not in a tree, it's a fort.
What if if you're from Iceland and there's no trees, you're just out of luck.
You are. You
Then
don't get
it's
to
a
have
fort.
a tree house.
Made of wood.
It's a house is made of wood.
Then I guess we all live in tree houses.
This table's
No.
made of wood.
No, because it's a.
It was a
fort.
tree house.
No, it's not.
Okay. It's
It's an elevated fort.
Yeah.
It's a suspended fort.
I need to find out how tall that thing actually was because I think my memory is probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it was
It's
like
probably as high as this table.
it's probably
I
2
mean,
feet.
everything when you're a kid
That's
looks
what I
like
mean.
it's
Like
huge
it
and
had
super high.
like.
Yeah.
Wish
Yeah.
it was still there. What movie do you wish life was more like? Jeez, that's a hard one.
Wow.
I don't know. That's hard.
Um,
Got nothing.
I don't know. Yeah.
You don't want to run around like Gladiator and.
no.
No. There's a reason we're not doing that anymore.
No, for sure. I'm not interested.
There's a reason we grew out of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy right where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm good.
I need to be in a movie.
I don't know. That's
Definitely not a musical.
Oh, yeah.
Why
that
do
would
you
get.
hate
They
musicals?
make me uncomfortable. They do.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, imagine if we were just singing right now. This whole
no
thing.
way. I would just be embarrassed and out. No way.
So all
It
we have
makes
to do to
me
embarrass you is
embarrassed and
break into
uncomfortable.
strong.
Uncomfortable, yeah.
Song strong.
I get that though.
Like for the people that are singing it.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why.
They're just
I'm
all sitting
No,
there
I
breaking
get
a
it.
I'm just
dance
like,
and
ugh, stop.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Even if they're really good?
Nope. Don't like it. I like music, but I do not like musicals.
What if they weren't dancing?
No, I still don't think so. Because they're still like looking off into somewhere and like it's just weird.
Trying to make something more grandiose
It just,
than it is.
just makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, just talk about it. I don't know why.
have you ever
I
been
can
to
see
like
it.
a
Play?
big theater play?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Which one?
can't
remember?
Don't even remember.
You-
'cause
you
they were that
checked out
good.
'cause you were
yeah,
feeling
I was in
anxious?
the Nutcracker in third grade. We had to. Yeah.
What were you?
Toy soldier. I got
you just
killed.
stand there? Oh, you got killed?
Yeah, they wanted
Oh.
me to like have a speaking part, and at that age, I was like, nope, not doing it. So I was like, I want to be a soldier because that's, of course, you're a kid.
Yeah,
That's what you want to
your
do.
go-to.
So I got stabbed, died, fell out.
Ooh, I wonder if you did the.
Nope, fell straight back, hit my head.
Did you really? That sounds terrible.
That's
great.
awesome.
Was that the end of your acting career?
Yeah, I did a couple like other school plays and stuff like that. I was like Abraham Lincoln in one.
I could see it was
Nice.
Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
Were you guys in any school plays or anything?
I was Gollum in The Hobbit.
Nice.
In
No,
6th
you
grade.
weren't.
Yeah.
Gollum. That's
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I had a pantyhose over my head to make your face all smushed. Yeah.
oh gosh.
My precious.
Oh,
Remember that? That was fun.
You still
I actually
got
had
it.
fun with that.
that is really fun.
Being creepy, crawling around.
Jeez. I was Scrooge in that Christmas movie.
Of course you were.
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah. That was fun.
You were Scrooge?
You were Scrooge?
yeah.
No.
I used to like that stuff. Not
Being
that I don't.
grumpy?
No. it was fun.
I would have liked to have been an actor.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
could have got into that. I was
Yeah.
into sports, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could have done that. I would have. I
think
could
it's a
never sing and
blast.
I
dance.
think now
really,
I could have. Now or
Yeah.
back then I was like, no way would I want to learn any lines or do anything like that. Now
Right.
it's like the stuff doesn't bother me.
Right.
Yeah, could you imagine like getting to be in Avengers or something like that? And you get
That'd
to
be
be
awesome.
a completely different character.
Yeah.
You get to learn
Yeah,
fight
that would be
scenes.
cool.
Like that would be incredible.
Yeah, that would be cool.
so fun.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, there's plenty of those movies that you're watching. I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that for 8 months like they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, oh my gosh.
I agree.
That'd be a blast. Oh, that's not a very good one. What were you really into when you were younger, but now think is silly? Like remember Pogs and Dungeons and Dragons.
It's always
and-
unfortunate watching movies or shows that you liked as a kid. You're
Yeah.
like, ooh, like Power Rangers.
A lot of times they don't
Loved
have
Power Rangers. Watched a
Yeah.
couple episodes when I had my knee surgery, and I was like,
Dear.
okay. I still
Yeah.
like enjoyed it though, because you're like,
Yeah.
I used to like this.
Yeah.
What's still good is the Ninja Turtle, old Ninja Turtle movies.
Oh my
the
Oh,
gosh.
first two.
Those are
Yeah.
still
The first
so
two
good.
are good,
Yeah.
and then the cartoons, the Ninja Turtle old Ninja Turtle cartoons.
I do
Oh, I
remember
don't
the
think I ever
cartoons.
watched
They're
the
still
cartoons,
good.
but
They're
I
on
remember
the
movies.
iTunes. You can get the different seasons.
Nice.
They're
I gotta
good.
check that out because that was my jam.
I was into models,
Like model cars.
model cars, and the model airplanes.
I was like, yeah, we're all into models. Model cars.
It's not silly. Like,
Those you were.
The snap together ones or the
Yeah, or
actual
the
glue
glue.
ones?
Glue. I used to
Gosh,
like
those
put
were
them
my
so
in.
brother was
hard.
into that too.
That was so hard. I'd get so pissed off about, halfway into a car. Screw this.
I
And
could
painting
see you
it. Just,
punting one.
oh yeah.
Like
Give
just
up.
being like.
I maybe finished one or two, but with my dad's help. Like there was
Yeah.
no way.
With
I had
the
no
assistance.
patience for that because I didn't want the glue to dry. The glue
Right.
took forever to dry. and you had to do it in sections. I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to build this whole thing. Like if I'm gonna start something, I want to finish it right
Right.
then. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna take forever.
let
My
it
whole
dry.
room was like I was into airplanes, so my whole room was dog fights, and I'd hang them from fishing
that's
wire, and
cool.
you'd have
That's
the planes.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
That was. I used to really do that and
That's
spend
really awesome.
summer days into that.
That's cool.
We bought.
I was also into models too, by the way.
models.
Let's be clear.
That really makes. It's not silly, but whatever.
Let's just be clear.
Somehow my brother and I bought one of those 3D. Do you remember the 3D puzzles?
Oh, yeah.
That you had to, and we bought
Empire
like,
State Building.
That's what, and like
We finished the base and that was it.
we
It was
didn't even
so
like it
hard.
didn't even start going up. Like we did the floor like this is stupid. Like couldn't even like you
It
couldn't
was
find three
how many
pieces that
thousands
matched.
of pieces.
Oh
yeah.
man, that thing was like that sat on the table for a year
Puzzles.
until we burned it.
See, that's another thing. Puzzles. I'm not into puzzles.
I
Like,
just did a puzzle for the first time in 20 years over Christmas, and it was the most frustrating thing. I'm like, I feel like I should be smarter than this. And you're like trying to put the piece together. You get one every 10 minutes. You're like, this is like,
I've done a
How do you have the
couple with
patience?
Lakeland. They're frustrating.
They
but they're also
are.
like kid puzzles. So if I'm
like
frustrated
8
at a
pieces.
kid's puzzle, then
this is like a Frank Lloyd Wright painting, and all the colors are the same. And you're just like,
it's awful.
Did you get it done?
yeah, we did.
Wow.
Like 4 or 5 of us. Finally, we're like, good riddance.
Good riddance.
Good riddance,
Oh, that's
Jaludi.
funny.
What games do you have to play at your house? Because do you do kid games
We
like
haven't
Operation
done
or?
no. My kids break everything, especially Trice.
They're still so young.
yeah,
too.
they're
Lakeland
so
loves
little.
Lakeland loves Legos. So we play Legos a lot, and then we just downloaded a kids Bible app. And so,
that's
like
cool.
at the end of each lesson, it has a game. And so we figured out there's a match game for Noah's Ark.
Oh.
And so she freaking loves that.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
every
That's
last
cool.
couple nights we've been playing that to go to bed. But yeah, I mean, as far as games go, we don't really. I mean, we were playing basketball in the basement the other night. That was pretty funny. Because Lakeland was trying to figure out how to dribble, and she kind of got it. And then she has like a little Tykes basketball goal, so we were playing that, and then Trice would just run around and smack everybody. Kid it's insane. He just like walks up to you and is like, whack! For no reason, and then just laughs and runs away.
It sounds like those cats, when cats like get mad and they just like swipe.
Yeah.
That's,
Swipe something off the
Yeah.
table.
but not even when he's mad. He's just like, he just runs around and hits. He thinks it's funny.
He's fast now too.
He's so fast.
He's
You're
really
like, hey, come here. Do you want this? And he'll be like, and then he just runs away.
looking back.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's like
smiling
he's
the
like
whole
a
time.
feral cat.
I like how he opens like a bottle of water
He'll take 2 drinks and
and
then
then
pour
dumps
it
it
out.
out.
Anybody
funny.
who leaves anything open or remotely open in the
Right.
gym, it's getting dumped out.
No, he knows
He's
how to
just
open the
trying to
cap
clean.
now.
I know, but you
He's
have to.
a water
I'm saying,
bandit.
but what I'm saying is, if you
Water
crank it
bandit.
tight,
Oh,
he can't
okay.
do it. But if it's not full tight, he'll get it open, and he takes a drink or 2, and he doesn't do the lips on. He does full mouth on.
yeah, that's
And
hilarious.
so
A
if he's
drink or two,
eating
it's
something,
like
it's like
straight in it.
straight. It's just like going back and forth in his mouth, out of his mouth. It's disgusting.
And he's so he's just so smart too. Like the other day he was like by the pole and he had a water bottle, and like you see him like we're like all like scattered working out, and he's by the pole. He does a little half bend and turn to look back to see if anyone's watching, and then goes
Dumps it.
but took the half bend and the swivel just to make sure.
He's such a turd.
Oh, and then just smiling.
I
It was
totally
so
watched
cute.
him the other day when you guys were right in the middle of working out. Run in and he got 2 bottles.
Yeah.
I was rowing and I'm
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
him and I'm cracking up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he just goes and grabs
Water
one, dumps it
bandit.
out, throws it out in the grass,
Those,
goes gets
that's
another
the thing.
one.
It's like there'll be
throws it out in the
bottles just all out in the yard, and I'm like, man, come on.
It's so funny.
Oh, that
Such
was
a
hilarious.
nut.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
awesome.
He took when you were working out the other day, he came in and got the 10s, the 5s.
Oh, yeah.
All of that, and then took them outside on the sled
And
and,
then
just
stacked
stacked them
them.
all up. And he
Did
was
he?
He's the one that did that. I was
Yeah.
wondering
and
where
then
that came
stacked
from.
way.
collars on top
Yeah.
of it. And I'm pretty sure he pinched himself one time because he came running in, and I think he dropped it and it pinched his stomach, and he was like, freaking out.
that kept his attention for
Well, I told
25
you,
minutes.
I told you about the snake story, right?
no.
Snake.
So we're sitting at you guys. I guess everybody was gone. It was me and Tasia and Dre. They're out back playing out by your tilled
My
plot.
future garden. Perfect.
And they're literally playing in this dirt. Like
Right.
Lakeland's burying herself in the dirt. Well, then she comes running inside. Trace got bit by a snake. And I'm like, what? So I take off sprinting out back. Well, we have that old car from the race.
Right.
It's just sitting out back. Well, he'd gotten his finger stuck in the handle of the door and
Oh, yeah.
opened it and shut back. And he's just standing there
yeah.
crying. And I don't know if mom or dad or somebody told him stay away from the car. There'll be snakes around it because the
Right.
grass is kind of tall.
Right.
And so Lakeland thought he got bit by a snake.
wow.
And so she comes running in saying he get bit by a snake, but he's just stuck in the door
Jeez.
crying because he can't get It's like
Yeah.
a Chinese finger trap or something.
Oh my gosh.
Poor dude. Someone
He's
get me out of
thinking
here.
he's stuck there forever,
I
poor
was
kid.
just like,
The other thing I love about him is how much he loves cars.
loves cars.
Yeah.
He
my
runs
gosh.
out when people drive up now.
That is, like-
And
before
wants
they
to
close the door.
just sit in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just wants to sit in the car and drive the steering wheel and
Yes.
like push all
Yeah.
the buttons.
It's like
Yeah.
future Papa, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
He's
Man.
into it.
He's
a cool kid, man.
He greeted me at the car the other day, and which I love, and just let him. So I pick him up and let him sit there, and he knows the push button start. He like went straight to it, went straight to the windshield wipers, all this stuff. But sure enough, there's something that he held down or pressed that now makes my car scream every time I turn it on. But Trice has outsmarted me because I can't figure out how to turn it off. And now every time I turn on, my car goes, wee! It's terrible. And it puts this big yellow thing on there with an exclamation mark. And sure enough, I can't figure out how to turn it off. I need Trice to come back in there and like do it all
You
over
might want
again.
to have that checked out.
That's a hazard thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? You better Google that.
Control or something.
Ruh-roh. Here we go. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
fine.
That sounds like Trice is messing everything up.
No, I thought it was great. He knew everything. I'll let him
No,
do
he
it
has
again.
knows nothing. He just
He
pushes
started.
everything.
He
Just
went
like the
straight
push
for the
buttons.
button. He
It
was like,
is-
I'm taking this thing for a whirl. Let's go.
It is pretty crazy. He knows exactly what you're saying, but won't say anything.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
And he loves my dad. So the one kid I've ever seen that absolutely loves my dad. Papa? 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 He just, anytime anybody drives in or drives down the driveway, because my dad shows up every night to do his flybys.
Right.
So when it's a little bit dark and anybody comes down the driveway, Papa? Papa? And he loves my dad. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I've never seen a kid love my dad.
That's awesome.
It's
So
great. It's
awesome.
great. No, it's great. But it's just funny that he just loves my dad.
That's
so
cool.
cool.
Papa?
Papa.
Papa?
Oh, that's awesome. Which historical figure wasn't as amazing as most people think they
Okay.
were? You're good at historical
Well, I mean,
figures.
Christopher Columbus. That's what everybody
Yeah,
hates
that's
him
bad.
now.
Why?
Read a book. Just kidding.
What did I miss?
Yeah,
you not
he wasn't
remember-
necessarily setting everybody free.
Yeah, no.
Discovering.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I thought there was like something recent in the news that I didn't know about. I thought you were
any
talking
other
about like a current
historical
event.
figure? I don't know.
Andrew Jackson is somebody who
they don't really.
who gets a good name sometimes, and he did a lot of shady stuff.
Yeah. I think if you go back to anybody, really.
Yeah.
And times were different. Things were accepted, which are horrible things.
Yes, we've come a long ways.
And
We've grown.
It's just tough to judge the past by what we think is okay now and what's right now. However, those things were horrible back then, so there's no making it right. But
Right.
it's just different.
Yeah.
That's fair. What are you tired of hearing about?
Caught me on a good day.
I was gonna say.
Nothing in CrossFit. I feel like you always get like, I don't know. I guess everything's kind of moving along.
Yeah, I don't really. Oh man, you did catch me on a good day because usually I do have stuff that I'm really fired up about.
I'm not into politics that much because I'm tired of all of that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
tired of hearing about Trump, and I'm
Yeah,
tired of hearing
yeah,
about.
Yeah, agreed.
That's something I just kind of steer away from.
There's another one that made me chuckle. What would you not do for $5 million?
What would you not do?
$5 million.
Oh,
$5 million.
Well,
There's a lot of things I wouldn't do.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I guess that's not really that much money in today's.
Right.
I mean, it's a lot, but like,
Would you
have
cut
something
off?
on your conscience.
Would you cut off a finger?
No.
For $5 million?
think
Yeah.
so. Really?
Really?
Which one?
Pinky, right?
Just
I
get
don't
out.
know.
Just.
They're
I feel like you'd want one of like the middle ones because I feel like
No.
I think about that pretty hard.
the angle of
$5
like the
million.
whole
Would you cut off your? Would you
Wait,
cut off a
are
finger?
you asleep or do you have to cut it off?
Ooh, like yourself with a saw? Ooh, plot thickens.
No, I think it just has to come off.
Yeah.
So we
if,
can.
if someone else is gonna cut it
And you're
off,
put to
absolutely,
sleep. And you're put to sleep.
absolutely. And if
$5 million.
I might do that.
I don't know.
if I have to do it
I wouldn't do
myself,
a
I might
thumb.
still do it.
I feel like my fingers are. Whoa.
If it was like a sharp thing, you
Right,
wouldn't even
you
feel
could-
it.
Bull
Well,
loaded.
no.
Have you ever gotten any like major injuries?
No, that's why I
Okay.
would do it. I also could really use $5 million, obviously.
To get through that
It
bone
would
in the
be hard.
cartilage,
It would
that
be
would
hard
be.
though with your other
imagine?
fingers.
Yeah, I
anyway.
think my fingers over their lifetime are worth more than $5 million. I think.
Well, for you, for sure.
$5 million
Could you
to
imagine-
cut it off yourself? No way. Are you psycho?
Could you do like yard clippers?
know.
You could
I've
just
had-
Oh,
I've had too many
a
like
bolt cutter.
injuries
Yeah.
where I've
I feel like that would just put me out of
the
balance.
initial shock of like, oh, that like like when you
Yeah.
do something, you cut something super deep. Like anytime, like my wrist when I got cleated that one time, like the initial, you're like, oh, that didn't hurt.
Oh, but the way
But you're
when it
it never hurt. I think because it cut all the nerves and stuff.
Yeah.
But you're just so I don't know like.
Would you do
But
it,
I mean,
Jim?
I almost cut my pinky off one time with a
$5 million.
pocket knife.
with a pocket knife, how?
Well, I was really good
Well.
at procrastinating stuff.
See, you were halfway there.
procrastinating stuff.
3/4
And
of the way
you had to take a fine art in college, and I took theater, and I was like, it was last minute trying to make. You had to do a model stage prep thing, and I had a Swiss Army knife, and I was trying to like poke a hole into something. Idiot, and like went to push down on it, and it closed on my finger. I was like, oh man. And I was on shift at the fire department, but at like so I had 30 minutes between classes or something like that, and so I'd just go home instead of going back to the station and then go to class.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh man, I don't want to like. I'm gonna have to go to work and tell people that I did this.
So you just like covered it up.
No, I had to go get 6 and I
my
had 8
gosh.
stitches
He
in my
was
pinky.
$2.5 million of the way there.
Yeah.
No, there was no bone in that. It was just laid open pretty good on the side. But I mean, you can still see the scar right there.
I feel like there'd
Elly,
be
would you lose a finger for $5 million
I'm like sitting here.
if you didn't have to do it yourself?
if I could be put to sleep, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Surgery?
feel like there's just too much you can do
in
with
10
your
years,
hands.
yes, I would.
yeah,
What
that's,
about
that's what
yours?
I'm saying. At 50, I don't know.
Yeah, in 10
Might
years,
take
I
like
it.
would.
later on.
In 10
yeah,
years, I
we're
would.
not
Right
doing-
now, no, I want
Yeah.
these things.
I mean, honestly, like you could really like think of what people get around not having.
Right.
It seems
I can
like
hook
it's-
grip with these,
There you go.
but I
I
still
feel like there'd be a
like
lot of people that would
and your
lose a
pinky
finger
does
for
get in the
$5
way
million.
sometimes when you go to jerk the bar and it's like gets stuck in
Yeah.
front of it, you know?
Yeah.
You're kind of
and
worthless.
on your non-dominant hand too.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
I
eh.
wonder
We
if you
need
could
that thing
handstand
for-
walk easily with no pinky.
Yeah, how would that
think
be?
you
I
could?
wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you'd get used to it.
Like
Yeah.
I
anything.
don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. TBD.
There'd be a lot of people
Five
that
So
would.
you don't
like,
know, Elly?
whole
I
pinky?
don't know.
Whole pinky.
Whole pinky, like
To a
Right now
nub.
I'm thinking
Just
no.
like that.
I think to the knuckle, right?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
For
I'm not
5
really
million.
interested in
Yeah.
that, losing the pinky thing.
If someone else did it, I'd do it.
You look like a Ninja Turtle.
Probably wouldn't do it now because then it would be hard to relearn some stuff probably.
Right.
For like CrossFit wise.
Yeah, you never. I don't know.
Would you, Jim?
I think there'd be. I would consider that if that was a real deal. I would strongly
You wouldn't do
consider
it, Elly?
that.
Nah,
Decided?
not doing it. I mean, if there are a lot of ways to be an entrepreneur nowadays and
Make a bunch
raise
of money.
capital. And,
That's true.
You know, so
That's
I just,
true.
I don't know, 5 million.
I'd rather just
That's a lot.
get creative.
I might do it in a couple of years, not right now.
Yeah, it really does depend on the stage of life, I think, as well.
What was the original question? Things you would do for $5 million?
Things you would not
Would
do
not
for five.
do.
That's
Oh.
more like tells more about you for things you wouldn't do. The point of the question, I think they were saying, was like finding like
What's important to you?
or
My pinky.
What did it say? You can find out what morals they consider to be the most important and what activities they find detestable.
Detestable.
Detestable. Oh, I just had a good one. I don't know where it went. It disappeared. Oh, what is society doing now that in 20 years will be laughed at and ridiculed?
Ooh, this goes along with what Rich was saying about the past.
Yeah.
Well,
She did-
fashion trends, that's easy.
Social media influencers.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Ooh, that'll just, yeah.
I like something that sticks out in my mind when you said that was the cruise you guys went on,
Oh yeah.
and just some of the like kind of fitness or the model type people maybe
Yeah, the
trying to
influencers.
grow or
Influencers.
ski-
Yeah. They don't
Yeah.
really like. I mean, hey, it is if that's your thing and you're getting paid
Right.
for it, great. But I mean, I don't know.
I wonder what,
Yeah,
like,
do
nutrition
something.
habit,
Yeah.
like, you know, like, kind of like smoking was, too, like, the way it kind of is looked at now versus, like, I'm not, you know.
Right.
It's
You
Yeah.
shouldn't
definitely
smoke.
like-
You can
yeah.
say
Yeah.
you shouldn't smoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad smokes, and I ask him every day, "Why do you smoke?"
Right.
It's just things like that, like, back then people thought were, like, that's the coolest thing
Right.
ever, and now people are like, it kills you, don't do that.
Well, even like things like this, you know, think about how much more integrated we're going to be than
Yeah,
this
it's
phone.
kind of scary.
Like something
really
that's
scary.
in you or I don't know what, you know,
I
like
agree.
because we're moving forward so fast with
Screen in
technology.
your forum.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be so weird.
I was actually just thinking about this the other day, like how you used to have to, in the newspaper, get the TV guide and like look what
gosh,
movies
yeah.
are going to be on.
Yeah.
And now you literally just are on a screen like scrolling through, and it's just like
Did you
really
ever
weird.
call the
TV
movies
guide.
when you were younger to know what the times were?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
The recording.
And they're like, hello, it's Monday. This week, the Twilight showing will be.
Yeah.
Screen
That's
7.
crazy to think about.
Oh my gosh.
3:30.
I never thought about that stuff. That is
Wow, I
crazy.
forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, TV Guide. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
that was
legit.
a magazine, you know.
Yeah.
Love
Or like
magazines.
there was the channel, but it like scrolled,
Scroll so slow.
slowly.
They
that
still
you're
have
just
that
like,
in hotels. You're like,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
My first job right out of college, I literally had one of the first cell phones in northern
wow.
Colorado.
Dang, it was probably
Like-
this big.
It was.
Bag
It was
phone?
It was a big bag phone. And then when they went from the 3-watt bag phone to the smaller phones,
Nokia.
Motorola had the brick phone first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, I literally was walking around with technology that no one, because I was a salesperson, had. I could never afford it on my own. And now look how far we've come.
Do you remember when they like came built-in cars? I remember my dad's
Yeah.
center console was a
Yeah.
phone with a cord.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they tried to get phones so small, and then now it's like they're back to biggest
Yeah.
screen?
Oh, they
Right.
were like the
Yeah,
like
razors.
the tiny, the
and
razor. Yeah, Motorola razor.
I used to have to put antennas on people's cars. You know, like they'd lose an antenna, so
Oh,
I have to
I
go out there and
remember.
stick an antenna
And then you,
fix it.
There were a couple times my dad hollered in the car while she came in, my antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. What was the worst purchase you've ever made?
Oh, too many to list.
Too many.
worst
Like
purchase
what?
Amazon.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Just kidding. Don't
You
go
ever
through my
get
purchase.
stuff and you're like, yeah, that doesn't fit, or
No,
that, I'm not going to use this ever, but I'm not going to go
not
through the
sending
hassle
it
of
back.
sending it back,
Oh,
even though it was
never.
$60 and it takes 2 seconds to send it
Yeah.
back.
They'll even come to your doorstep
then
now.
make it like the
I'll give it to
easiest.
somebody. It's
Yeah.
still in my
Yeah.
closet.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
hate that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a real life scenario right there.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
We should do that sometime. Go through our
Well,
browsing
then,
history.
have you
and see-
heard of Stitch Fix?
No.
Yes.
So you go on there and you like do a profile of like clothes that you would wear or whatever, and you can set it up to like every 2 weeks they'll send you clothes, every month, every whatever. So I have it set up every 3 months, just so I'm not wearing gym stuff all the time, right? And so they send you stuff, and it has a list of like, so they'll send like 5 or 6 things. oh, I like 4 of them. 2 of them I'll never freaking wear. But it's cheaper to keep the 4 than it is, or like $20 more to keep the 4 or the whole thing versus sending back the 2 and only keeping the 4. And I'm just like, I'll
so
keep
they
those 2.
get you every
I'm like, dang it. You got me. Got me again.
Oh, that's kind of awesome.
Bastards.
Cam, anything?
I don't even know what the original question was.
Worst
The
purchase.
Oh, worst purchase. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I make a poor purchase online, like I'm never sending it back.
Impulse
and I just
buys.
like
Yeah.
Impulse
Yeah.
buys. You're like, oh, I need that.
I just
Oh,
get
yeah.
like so mad, but I'm like, I'm not gonna. I don't know why. It's just such a hassle to send it back.
I agree.
I bought a car one time that I thought was a screaming deal, and everybody told me it was a stupid idea. But I don't know why. I just thought this was going to be a great
Just went
car,
through
and
with
it
it.
was like the worst thing
Lemon.
ever.
Yeah,
you know,
been there,
you're just
done
like,
that too.
What am I doing?
Why did I do that?
Then your pride's kind of like, you know,
dang
I'll
it.
make this work.
I'm gonna use this all
eat it.
the time.
What about you, Ellie?
Same idea. I just buy things on Amazon that I totally. I'm like, this is a great invention. I need this, and I absolutely get it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what was I thinking?
You never use it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those boxes. Ruh-roh.
Amazon sent me, I told you guys, herbal tea for women. It was like, I didn't order
You
it.
like it?
I didn't try it.
Oh.
I'm trying to send it back. Matter of fact, I was going to do that while I was here.
Did you pay for it?
No, like I bought some.
Oh.
I bought some athletic greens. I bought some of that, and then this tea for women came, and I'm like, I didn't order that, so now I've got to send it back. But that's the first time that's ever happened, actually. I know I didn't click on that. Why is that here?
Did Kristen order that?
No, I asked her. I'm like, babe, here's your herbal tea. I didn't order that.
She's like, no.
Did they charge you for it?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Did the Russian mafia get your Amazon account, and
I've
now
been
they're
hacked.
buying herbal tea?
Did
I've
you
been
guys
hacked.
hear about Tasia for the
Oh my
Iceland
gosh, the poor thing.
championship?
Uh-uh.
So the feed for Iceland's in whatever it was, the
live
Reykjavik,
feed,
whatever,
yeah.
it was awful. It was terrible. And on it, people were like sending in like, oh, click this and you get a better one. Click this and pay this or whatever. And so Tasia, I was
For,
like,
like, live
it's
streams?
no.
obvious spam. Like anybody with anybody wouldn't do it. Well, Tasia does it. She's like, yeah, I clicked on that. I was like, Tasia, are you kidding me?
Oh.
So yeah, it was.
So
not
she had to
good.
get a new card sent to her
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But she said, I was willing to watch you guys at all costs.
Oh, Tasia.
We're trying to watch and it like keeps coming up and it's like, oh, if you want to watch the feed, go to this, click this, click this, click this, and then you had to like buy.
Right.
And Tasia's like, yeah, I did it. And I was like, did they charge you money? They're like, they only charged me $1. I'm like, check it again. Oh, they charged me another $1. Check it again.
Oh,
they charged me another.
no.
They kept charging.
Have you ever done something like that where it caught you?
No.
I bought hotel room, made a reservation on a site that I thought was the hotel.
Yeah.
Bro.
I mean, I really did.
Yeah.
And it was not. It was a scam. And I went through the whole thing, and boom, it hit my card for like triple the amount.
Triple.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then in hotel room, they don't ever charge you right away.
Right. Charge
And
you
I had
after.
like
Yeah.
a $1,700 charge. And luckily, I have on an app, you know, that says Capital One, hey,
Yeah.
did you make
Yeah.
this? And I'm like, no, block.
No. I didn't
And then
buy
I
that same thing
called the
3 times.
hotel, and they were like, no, we're having a huge issue with that. Like, you're not the first person.
That's
That sucks.
What's something you thought was silly until you tried it?
CrossFit.
Mushroom blends.
Oh,
Oh.
Ellie's on shrooms.
she's shrooming.
I don't know.
Silly.
Most of the
I
things I
love
think are silly end up being silly.
Something. I played Fruit Ninja.
What is
It's
Fruit
like some
Ninja?
old
Where
school
you slice the
game where you.
Yeah.
Kristen had it on her phone on the flight back. I was playing Fruit Ninja, and I thought that was silly, and I was into it.
Something else. I don't know. I gotta think more about that. What is the weirdest habit you had as a child?
I used to, in your socks, you know how you have that bead that goes over the top of your toes?
Mm-hmm.
I used to take the end of it and tuck it underneath my toe. My pinky, in between my pinky toe and my fourth toe.
Really?
Don't know.
Did it help you?
And then put your shoes
you
on?
just like had that.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about it the other day with somebody. I forgot why.
I was
but
like,
that- and then I guess for like 3 or 4 years, I would only wear sweatpants to school. No jeans. I wouldn't wear
Really?
jeans. Yeah, only sweatpants, and not like gray and black sweatpants, like maroon and orange. And
Wait,
like,
were you
green.
young or older?
It was like first, second grade,
Oh,
something
okay,
like that.
that's more excusable.
First and second grade.
I
Probably.
like it.
Jeez.
I can't think of anything.
I probably had a bunch, probably weird things.
I don't know. I feel like I was a weird kid. like when I went to other people's houses, like if they made the food, like I didn't want to eat it for some reason. I thought it was like,
Poison.
what did they put? Like not that they would poison me, but there's like, I don't know, like were they cleanly enough, whatever. And then like if I slept over at someone's house, I couldn't sleep because I didn't want to sleep like in their bedding and stuff. I guess I was kind of a germaphobe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, shoot.
I wouldn't go number 2 anywhere but my house.
Yeah?
Nowhere.
As a kid?
Nowhere. Like we go on trips. Nowhere. Nowhere. And I finally got out of that in like high school. I think high school I was finally
Once you
like,
started
this is
feeling
stupid.
bad.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, nowhere.
What about you, Elly?
I used to wear matching Nike sweatsuits to high school every day. I'm talking
To
like
high school?
like purple track pants, matching purple
Have you
shoes,
seen,
a matching purple jacket.
Have you seen Blended with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore? It's like supposed to be the sequel to 50 First Dates when they have kids.
Oh, really?
Adam Sandler's older kids. That makes me think of who you would be. You need to watch it.
Oh dear, I'm gonna watch that later. and
Blended,
find out.
it's called?
Yeah, Blended.
Did you ever have tracksuits? Because that was a thing for a while, man.
Not
That was-
tracksuits. I wore like the swish pants.
Yeah.
Like
In like
the
elementary
breakaway
school.
swish pants.
Oh, the breakaway ones,
Those were
Adidas?
sweet.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
pretty legit.
Yeah, mine weren't Adidas. Mine were like the off-brand. My mom would.
My dad only shopped at Walmart, so
My mom
I had
refused to buy until I could pay for my own stuff. Nothing of mine was name brand
brand.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
And even then, like when I started buying name brand stuff, we would go like before consignment stores were a thing and were cool. Like there's this place called Discount Shoes over by your house actually.
Yeah, I love that place.
And that's where they'd write the price of the shoe on the bottom of the shoe, like in a pen.
Oh, really?
And and they're like rejects from the factory or lightly worn.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I would just trash. As a kid, I would trash stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was hard on, as Dad says, I'm hard on shit. So, but yeah, my mom was like, nope, not until you buy when you want to buy your own stuff, then you can have
Yeah.
name brand stuff. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Oh, when you're a kid, it doesn't even matter.
And like
it
hand-me-downs
did
and stuff.
when you were in like middle school.
Yeah, it totally mattered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you
got
probably had all
judged.
the name brand
No,
stuff.
we were-
Well, you just said you wore Nike matching Nike. I never had anything matching in my life.
That was in high school.
Oh, here we
and that
go.
Was that was sports. I wore uniforms my entire life. I knew nothing about brands or
Well,
looking cool.
uniforms, you're
I wore
lucky too.
freaking-
Yeah, exactly.
That was no.
Old gold
Like
spoon.
hand-me-downs
Elly.
and-
Our uniforms were hand-me-downs.
No.
It was a freaking jumper.
Here we
I
go.
don't believe any of that.
Unbelievable.
Not me either. I live on the beach.
Oh, stop.
We didn't have
There's
anything
such
name
thing
brand.
as a beach shack.
Your house
That
is not a
is-
beach
it-
shack.
It's not your house. There is such thing, but not where you lived.
There are plenty of beach shacks.
The first thing I had that was like super name brand that I thought was amazing was a members only jacket.
Nice.
In junior high.
Was it
The black one with the had
okay.
like the little like I don't know what you call them, like military type.
Are you talking? I was like
I
shoulder
was thinking.
pads.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
like the starter jackets.
Oh,
Remember those?
yeah.
Those were cool.
Yes,
Those were
the
cool.
basketball ones or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
Those
had
were
football.
cool.
I had a Notre Dame one. Yeah. No, my first name brand thing was like a pair of white Adidas shoes. That's one thing I
Yeah,
remember.
I think
yeah.
I got white Nikes.
I had some Nikes too.
when
that
I
were-
was
yeah.
maybe in middle school or something.
Yep, mine was in like 6th grade or
My
something.
mom like was working near like a Nike outlet store
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
Well, now they have all different levels.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
can
you
go
could
over
get-
and get like
yeah.
Nike
Yeah.
and
It'd be
It has-
not
They're not
super
as nice,
expensive. Yeah.
but-
Well, and
Yeah.
kids now don't go through like the weird, awkward phases. I don't
Right.
think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, my parents could not dress me to save their life, and now like these kids look amazing
right.
like
all the time.
Yeah.
Like
like
the weird
fully dressed.
haircut, the like
The
ugly.
best is
whatever.
that the fact that my wife wants Lakeland to wants to dress her in the nicest stuff, and Lakeland shows up. She's got like white tights on, a
She's
white
got boots
shirt,
on,
and
Lakeland's
like
outfits.
Her
like
outfits are so
horse
legit.
boots up to her
They are.
knees. I'm
Yeah.
like, Hillary gets so mad at me. She's like, "Well, if you're the one that the problem is because you keep letting her out of the house like this." I'm like, "I'm not fighting with her for 3 hours about what she's wearing. At least she has clothes on."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's seems like a start. Did you guys ever wear high school Letterman jackets?
No,
I did.
No.
I didn't have one. My dad wouldn't
did.
buy one. They weren't real big here. They were big in Michigan. Like all my cousins had one, so I
Yeah.
wanted one.
Yeah.
And then I just had my letters at the house, just at
Did
the
you have
house
one,
doing
Elly?
nothing.
Yeah, which is dumb in Cocoa Beach because
'Cause
it never
it's
gets
not cold.
lower than 70, and you wear it and you're sweating bullets underneath, and you're like,
Did
"This
you have
was
a
terrible
Letterman
idea."
bathing suit?
A Letterman bathing suit.
Oh.
I was kidding.
I was like, what is
I
this?
was like, "Do tell."
I had a Letterman jacket. It was one of the proudest things I ever got a hold of.
Yeah, I always
Man, we
wanted
wore
one,
that
but
thing
we
everywhere.
never. My dad was like, "Nah, I paid $400 for that."
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Wow.
Plus, you get all your little medals for all the sports
Yeah.
on it and everything.
Aw.
We didn't really they didn't do pins or anything for us. Like,
You guys didn't get
matter.
pins?
We got a letter and that was it.
That was it?
wow.
Yeah.
For
The
pins are
baseball,
fun.
baseball, yeah, for
Oh,
us.
I like the pins.
Yeah.
You sort of put your hardware on there, you
That's
know?
it,
I
man.
don't think we got
Well, it
pins
wasn't
either.
Cookville wasn't real big on that when I was there. I don't know if they are now,
If they
but
do that now, that's gonna.
it's like some people had some Letterman jackets, but they didn't buy them for you. You had to buy them and then. Nope. All right, last question. Better be a good one.
What's the best prank you can play on someone?
Best prank you can play on someone.
I gotta tell you guys one story about a prank. Thank goodness. I feel like someone would die if we did it here. Did I ever tell you the story what I did to my brother one time?
I don't think
I mean,
so.
this was like,
You just better be good the way you're setting this up.
I paid for it. Let's put it that way. So, my brother at the time had a solid routine. So he would get home from school and he would go to the bathroom, whatever, and always come out to, crap,
Poop in
whatever.
there.
Yeah. So he had these little snap and pop things, and he would come and chuck them at me, and it would drive me nuts. So one day I was like, I had enough, and I was like, I will get him. So I knew when he was going to go home. I knew when he was going to go to the bathroom. So I snuck into his bathroom, and I took the little snap and pops, and I put one each under the little things under the toilet seat.
Oh, that's legit.
And
So when he sat down,
He must sit down pretty
I was about to say, because
swiftly on
it
that.
takes, you have to twist them to do
well, all I hear is a huge pop of, "Ah!" and the door's really close to the toilet, and a body slam into the door. I hear his door fly open, my door flies open, and I was like, no! And then it was horrible. It was horrible. I lived, but it was horrible. And he goes and he looks at me and he goes, don't you ever cause an explosion by a man's parts. And he was like, I thought I died. Never did that again. But it was the best prank ever. It
that's a good prank.
was a solid prank.
Good job.
Thank you.
it. We used to have get-togethers at people's houses in high school, and one time we stole one of our friend's keys and made copies of said keys and stole her car. And we're just out joyriding it, and that happened to be the day that Lucius flipped his Jeep at my dad's house.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I remember that story.
Yeah, we were driving around. We come back, and the barn door's open, and there's no alcohol involved. He was just riding around the track that we'd made and
Because obviously you made a track.
flipped his Jeep. And we were like, oh, no. My dad was not real happy about that because he was not home at that time either.
Wow.
That's
But yeah,
pretty
we
solid.
stole keys and made copies.
That's a
and
good one.
We picked up a Volkswagen Bug out of the parking lot that belonged to a teacher in high school and carried it into the school.
You carried the vehicle?
That's a good one.
Yeah, we took the there were like metal posts for the doors, and so we took them all apart, took the posts out, and took it like
That's
6 or 8 of
that's
those
epic.
all the way in, and then put all the posts back.
That's good.
And
Did
left
they
it.
know? Did she find out? She find out?
No, they kind of had ideas about who did what, but there was threats of being, suspended and expelled, but that was
man.
pretty cool.
That's a solid
School
one.
prank. I won't tell anybody who was part of this, and I was actually out of town on a baseball trip when this happened, but I was in the group of minds that came up with the idea. And our principal he had this, it's Tiffany Davidson's dad, Wayne Shanks, and he would say Cookville High School. And so there was no L at the end of it. And so they climbed up on the building, probably 50 feet in the air. Like basically where you walk into the gym is like, there's a little not overhang, it's a part of the building, and then it goes up, and then up on there it says Cookville High School. Well, they just took the L off of the building, and they left. And so it said Cookville High School.
That's good.
That's funny.
I won't name any of the names that were part of that because that was 20 years ago.
You don't want to
so
take
it's
them down
pretty good.
20 years later. It's like
Yeah.
a cold case you
Yeah.
brought back.
Yeah, seriously.
Cookville High School.
That's funny.
I bet it was like that for a little while too.
It was for a long time because it was like those. It wasn't a full sign. Like it was just each individual letter.
Yeah.
And so they just pulled the letter off. Oh wow! Took it. And
That's
gone.
pretty awesome.
So, got one, Kristen, or no?
Not really. Just when you're like teenagers and you're messing with people's cars
Yeah.
and like saran wrapping them or
Yeah,
whatever.
we did a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of hood rat stuff.
I think that's a wrap.
All right.
All right.
Episode 67. RP Strength trifecta. Check out the RP Strength app.
Woo!
Pretty cool. CrossFitMayhem.com, MayhemMindset.com.
Yes, sir.
Ready to launch another one?
Coming in June.
Coming in June.
Yahoo!
Peace.